Previously on A Love That Lingered, the burdens of the Caldwell estate weighed heavily on Arthur's shoulders. War rumors darkened the horizon, and in his effort to prepare, Arthur pushed himself into exhaustion. Grace worried for him, but her pleas went unheeded until she resolved to do what she had always done: stand by his side, whether he approved or not. This is episode 17, A Shared Burden. The morning air drifted pale and cool across the manor, carrying with it the muted song of birds and the clatter of servants, already about their duties. Grace lingered by the window of her chamber, her eyes fixed upon the east lawn, where Arthur strode briskly alongside Oliver, a stack of papers clutched beneath one arm. He did not walk, he stormed. Each step was purposeful, each turn sharp. She recognized the storm that brewed in him before the skies ever gathered, her betrothed, forever driving himself until his very body trembled. It had gone on long enough. Her hand pressed against the window pane, and in the reflection she glimpsed her own expression, no longer the young girl who had arrived here shy and uncertain, but one grown sharper, steadier, shaped by love and responsibility alike. She was 17 now, and she would not watch him dwindle under the weight of tasks he refused to share. By midday, she found him in his study, the door half closed, his voice curt as he dictated instructions to Oliver. The desk was a battlefield of parchment, ink stains, and unopened letters. Arthur dismissed Oliver, who gave Grace a quiet nod on his way out. Arthur looked up then, his aquamarine eyes narrowing at the sight of her determined stance. "Grace," he said, voice tired but clipped, "this is no place for you. The work is tedious, unfit for your time." She did not move from the doorway. "Then it is doubly unfit for yours, if it drives you to exhaustion." His jaw tightened, but she crossed the threshold anyway. That was the day she began to intrude. The first days were a battle of wills. Arthur would thrust a stack of correspondence to one side with a stubborn scowl. "Leave these, I will attend them tonight." Grace would pluck them up, slide into the chair across from him, and unseal the first. "Then I shall attend them now, and you may correct me if I blunder." He groaned, he scolded. He attempted to distract her with compliments, then arguments, then sheer silence. None prevailed. Each time he returned to his study, he found her already seated, sleeves rolled discreetly at her wrists, pen poised, her neat hand scrawling across parchment. Oliver, half amused, half relieved, began slipping letters directly to her. "If he won't listen to me, my lady," he murmured with a conspiratorial smile, "perhaps he'll listen to you." Arthur fumed at first. "You are spoiling her." But Oliver only bowed. "Or saving you." The weeks grew into months, and slowly, ever so slowly, the tension shifted. Arthur stopped snatching the quill from her fingers and instead corrected the way she addressed certain peers. He taught her the proper flourishes to appease demanding nobles, the subtle turns of phrase to soothe merchants, the firm tone needed for tenants slow to pay rent. "Too soft," he said once, peering over her shoulder at a letter. "And you are too harsh," she countered. "Will you have our neighbors as allies or adversaries?" A smile tugged at his lips despite himself. He leaned down, brushing the faintest kiss to her temple. "You are incorrigible. Yet you are smiling." In time, he began leaving tasks for her intentionally. "Respond to Lord Fenton about the grain tariffs." Draft my reply to your father's steward. Review the accounts for the northern tenants. He still bore much himself, but no longer everything. And Grace, though the work was demanding, found a curious satisfaction in it. Each sealed letter felt like a victory, wrested from Arthur's pride. Each ledger balanced under her pen was a stone lifted from his weary shoulders. More than that, she began to glimpse the larger picture, the intricacies of an estate not merely of walls and fields, but of lives woven together. She learned which tenants sent baskets of apples as tokens of goodwill, which merchants cut corners, which noble families smiled in person and schemed in ink. The Caldwell name was not merely a title, it was a living, breathing legacy. And now she was part of it. One evening, as candlelight burned low and the study glowed warm against the chill beyond the windows, Arthur leaned back in his chair and regarded her. His features were softened by fatigue, but his eyes shone steady. "You've changed me," he said quietly. She set down her quill, startled. "I've only helped." "No," he insisted, his voice rough. "You've reminded me that I am not my father, doomed to work himself into an early grave. You will not let me." She reached across the desk, her hand resting lightly upon his. "Never." Winter melted into spring, and the manor itself seemed to mirror the lightening of Arthur's spirit. He laughed more often, even if softly, and no longer fell asleep over his work with the same alarming regularity. One late afternoon, Grace entered the study to find Arthur standing by the window, a stack of unopened letters in hand. For once, his brow was not furrowed. He turned, extending the letters to her. "They are yours," he said. "Mine? Our neighbors, our tenants, our allies. They write to us now, not only to me." The words struck her like a blessing. Slowly, she took the bundle, her chest tightening with something beyond pride. Belonging, trust, partnership. She met his gaze, and though no more words were exchanged, the silence spoke volumes. From that moment onward, the desk was not his alone. It was theirs. The months stretched comfortably forward, and with them, a new rhythm settled into the household. Grace and Arthur shared the burdens of estate and correspondence. Lady Caldwell watched with quiet approval. Even Oliver, ever discreet, allowed himself the occasional smile at how the study no longer felt like a chamber of shadows. But shadows have a way of creeping back. One evening, just as Grace extinguished the last candle, a knock sounded upon the manor's great doors. The butler received it with surprise. The hour was late for visitors. Grace, descending the stairs, paused at the sight of the messenger who stood in the entryway, cloaked in travel dust. In his hand was a sealed letter, bearing the mark of the crown. Arthur arrived moments later, his expression unreadable as he broke the seal. His eyes flickered across the page once, twice, then hardened. Grace felt her heart tighten, the peace of recent months already trembling on uncertain ground. For the letter bore not words of estate, nor pleasantries from allies, but the summons of a kingdom stirring restlessly at the edges of war.